So I don't see. Hello, it's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Could we be on the brink of World War III as President Trump weighs sending Tomahawk missiles to Russia, who has said that if those Tomahawk missiles come, that would be potentially the start of World War III, right? So I don't see President Trump doing that. I think, he's, trying to get Russia to come to some kind of negotiating table. It's just threatening. Sometimes empty threats, if you do them enough, they start to deteriorate as far as like a tool in convincing people to come to the table and talk. So I don't know what he's thinking about this. Definitely sending Tomahawk missiles that are nuclear capable to Ukraine would be not very smart, because for one, those Tomahawk missiles would absolutely have to have U.S. soldiers to man and deploy them, and it would be U.S. technology that would have to be utilized, because Ukraine doesn't have that, to guide those missiles and so forth. So it's not something that I think is going to happen. But if it does, look out. All right. So let's look at, some of the things that are going on out there. Let's look at, how Russia is basically devastating Ukraine right now. So it's dog and pony show where people come. Yep, it is. We got all these plaques out here. So you have all these people coming in and checking out all the gear that they, I guess, have, or they potentially have. See, here's a drone that can be launched from this, and within here, there's probably all kind of, controllers for the drones. So there's Russia as a Russian aggression, whatever, turns west. Poland says it's ready. Warsaw has doubled the size of its military since 2014 and boosted military spending to nearly 5% of GDP. All right. So Poland, do you remember how the Soviet Union just rolled right over you? Right. So maybe that's why they want to get, bulked up with weapons. I don't know. But they're not going to stop Russia. If Russia decides to come into Europe, which there's no reason for them to come into Europe. All they're doing is protecting their border from Nazis. Ben, maybe some of these European Nazi, countries, they might have to take care of business in them, right? So I would think it's very unlikely, but if Putin were to somehow pass over and Medvedev would take over, yeah, or Russia would basically take over Europe, right? And they would take it over. There would be no stopping the Russian army, because there's nothing in NATO, nothing that could even slow down the Russians if they really wanted to go in. So what Europe should be doing is making peace, making friends, and doing trade deals with Russia, so there is no war. But they keep pushing. They keep the verbal assault on Russia. They're taking away all their money and trade and stuff that there were in banks. They seized all their money. This is unprecedented for one country to do that to another country. So it's not really looking good for Europe. So the only thing that can save Europe is if a grown-up shows up like Trump, right? Because they're all children. They're all communist children that think that they can just steal from their people, and their people are going to just let them. At some point, I think the people, just like we saw in the Soviet Union, are going to stand up and push back and take back their countries. All right. So at this point, I don't know. Now, I did a special show earlier on silver. there is a massive gap in the price of silver on the basically the metals exchange, COMEX, and it's a much lower price than what the actual prices things are being sold for. So right now, silver stands at $52.82 for spot price, and then for the futures on the COMEX, it has been going up quite substantially all day. It's almost up 10% from where it closed on Friday, since trading opened last night and into right now. So right now it's up another almost 2%. It was up over 7%. So we're almost at a 10% rise in silver, but still silver is over $1 less than spot price on the COMEX. So it's the spot price keeps going up, and the COMEX price is, although it's going up very rapidly, it's not catching up. So it's still going up, and I explain why this is happening on my special report on silver. So the economy there's lots of cracks in the economy, and it's not going to last much longer before it completely collapses, right? Worldwide. All right, breaking. North Carolina to redraw congressional maps to stop California. So California, everyone's leaving it. Lots of people hate the government, the vampire who is the governor. And President Trump delivered countless victories during his first term in office. And 9 months into his second term, he continues to achieve unprecedented wins. However, now Texas just redrew some of their redistricting. And so there's going to be more Republican congressmen. And now North Carolina is going to do that too. Will it be enough? Right? Now there's other redistricting that could happen if the Supreme Court passes a law, which basically says that you can't use, like, for instance, minorities. Like if you have a lot of blacks in a certain area, or Hispanics in a certain area, or Africans in a certain area, so Somalis, whatever, you can't use that lower number to basically over redistrict. And if that happens, that would free up 19 different positions for Republicans. So that would stand as common sense. Whether that happens before the midterms remains to be seen, but it looks like they're really, pushing very hard to make sure that the Democrats don't completely take over the House again. And if they do, that will be a disaster for America. There's no question about it. All right. And if they get hold of Senate again, like they did, they got hold of a House the last time Trump was in office. In the midterm, he was basically, he had the like he does now. He had obviously the presidency, the Senate, and the Congress. Couldn't get a lot done because he had all those rhinos in there. So a lot of the rhinos have been cleaned out, but the numbers still aren't high enough to, push back on a Democrat surge, right? So we'll see what's going to happen coming into next year. We'll see in the springtime, how effective the Democrats are in cheating, right? And brainwashing their people to vote for them. It is it's a destruction of America, absolutely, if Trump doesn't get the White House and the Senate in his next 2 years, right? And it's incredible that we're coming up We're not even done with a year yet, but we're coming up on, it usually is about 9 to 10 months out where things really start to kick for the midterms. And there's a lot of focus on that. So it's crazy. It's just like a nonstop. We're at war. We're at war with the enemy within. That enemy within is the Democrat Party and their minions. It's a mess. A lot of people still don't understand that or see that, and we want America's gone. You might as well just move, right? I don't know where you're going to move, but because if America doesn't win, then the rest of the world's pretty screwed too. But that's pretty much where we're at. America is right on the verge again of collapsing. Even though Trump has done all this stuff, he's done a lot. So I still think he's the greatest president ever. But even though he's been the greatest president ever and has done more than any other president, has kept almost all of his promises, almost, right? You can bet if there